Ladies and gentlemen, very big welcome to week 5 of DEN205 ITT Strategy and Management. Today, I'm going to be talking about another important topic. It's about innovating with technology, systems, and information. One very important thing for us as a business to be able to remain in the business long term. It is very important for us to be able to continue innovating. We cannot go and continue operating 5 years, 10 years from now the way we are operating now. If we go and choose to do so, it is going to mean we are going to go out of business sooner or later. So it is our responsibility and our duty to be able to go and take the actions that are important in terms of the innovation, having a way for us to innovate, having a way for us to be able to go and gather that information, analyze that information, and exploit that information for us to be able to go and achieve the benefit of the business. Without keeping on changing, we are going to get ourselves out of the business. Now, I want to start by reminding you that the teaching team is available and loaded on Moodle. So, please go there and please have a look at the information that is available there, and feel free to make contact with me or your other lecturers during their consultation time if you need any assistance. One thing that is very important for you to know is, I repeat that every week, but we are very committed for your future. We're very committed to helping you, and we want to make sure you guys are going to get the right outcomes. So work hard, continue working hard, and let's try to help you to go and ensure you're going to go and get the right outcomes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to remind you about the importance of the copyright. You cannot copy and paste any information. Any information you go and use as part of your assignment need to be paraphrased. You use your own words in any information you are going to be producing. So it's very important to go and do that accordingly, to avoid having an issue where there is a similarity in your assignment and we're going to go and say this is not acceptable, there is an issue here. So please focus so much on ensuring any research you are going to be doing, it is going to go and be very much edited to be able to match your own language, your own words, to be able to produce that information. Now, what did we cover in the previous webinar? We spoke about the importance of us understanding our current situation as a business. Where are we there today? Where is my business? I need to understand my overall organization, my overall business strategy. I need to understand my business operating model. How am I operating today? What are my processes? What are my activities? What are the key entities available in my business? I need to understand the environment of my organization. And when I talk about the environment, it doesn't simply mean the information system or the IT environment. It also means what is happening out there. It also means what is happening economically, socially, technologically, to be able to know a few. It also means let me go and look what's happening externally in terms of the competitors, in terms of the industry that might go and influence or how I'm operating in terms of the work I do. I need to go and examine existing information system and IT environments. What do I currently have in terms of technology and in terms of information that is produced to me through the reliance and through the availability of that technology? What do I currently have? That's something that I need to go and really bear in mind. I need to look at my information and systems. They are there for me to be able to go and meet my business objectives. Now, how do we use that? We need to go and make sure we are creating some sort of plans to be able to get the right thing, to be able to get the right investment, to be able to achieve the right goals. But when I talk about this, I talk about they need to be a way. I need to go and understand what is my objective. I need to understand how am I measuring to be able to ensure that objective has been achieved. I need to make sure what are the critical success factors that I need to make sure they do exist for them to support my ability to go and deliver the outcomes I would like to go and deliver. So we need to go and really use that balanced scorecard. The balanced scorecard we spoke about, looking at various areas of the business for us to be able to go and bear. Sorry, guys. So I need to go and bear that in mind. For example, the balance scorecard talks about, what are the objectives relating to my customers? What are the objectives relating to my, shareholders? What are the factors relating to my financial aspect of the organization? All of these have goals, have objectives. I'm trying to achieve something specific, and they need to be a key performance indicator. How do I know if I say I want to reduce my inventory, how do I know that I am actually delivering that reduction in inventory? What are my key performance indicators to help me check and understand and confirm I'm going to achieve what I would like to go and achieve? What are my critical success factors that must exist in my organization to help me to be able to go and reach my right goals? We spoke about the importance of analyzing our processes. The process is the step-by-step that we need to go and follow in order for us to be able to go and get a particular outcome to go and be delivered. That's a step-by-step things I need to go and ensure I'm delivering. So I need to go and speak about that. Let's look at the process. Is it getting me the information that I need? Is there any problem where the information is not flowing? Is there an issue I need to go and solve? Because by looking at my processes, by looking and analyzing all of my processes, and then I am able to start really looking at achieving the right outcomes I would like to go and really achieve. I need a lot of time to redesign my processes, and my redesign could mean one of two things. Could mean, improvement, gradual improvement of what I'm trying to go and do. That's one thing. Let me go and improve what is basically trying to be done. Or let me change my whole process altogether. And these two things do happen. So my redesign is about my, whatever I'm trying to go and do. If it's a gradual improvement, that's fine. If it's meeting the goals and help me to better achieve my business objective, that's fine, no problem. And it's probably facilitated through the availability of more information and more technologies to support the redesign of all of these processes. But sometimes it's about changing the whole process altogether, which would mean potentially implementing brand new technologies, getting brand new information, and trying to go and really get that information to go and help us to go and reach the outcomes we would like to go and reach. We need to go and evaluate the gap between my existing and my required information system and IT. That gap between what I have and what I need is really where I need to go and be making all of my investment in terms of IS and in terms of IT within the organization. Now, today we are going to go and talk one step further. We are going to be talking today about innovation, the importance of innovation. How do we innovate? Why do we innovate? All of these various things. We need to understand what it means to innovate with information technology. We need to talk about, the process of digital business innovation. We need to talk about the push and pull model of innovating with IS and ID. Push is where something is being pushed on me to be able to go and do. Pull is where something I'm basically pulling and I'm choosing to go and work on any particular aspect within my organization. We talk about getting management attention for ideas and innovations. How do I get my senior manager to be able to pay attention to me if I'm trying to tell them we need to go and invest into any particular technology? We need to make sure they are actually paying attention to what we're trying to go and see. We talk about joining the dots, searching for all of these big ideas. And when I talk about searching the dots, it's about really looking at various things, looking at the business, looking at what I have, and linking the dots to see what do I need to deliver in terms of my business to be able to reach my outcome. So that's going to have to go and have a clear understanding of what are we trying to go and do as a business first, and why we're not actually able to go and achieve what we're trying to go and achieve as a business. We need to go and innovate by leveraging information. So how can I explore information, and how can I exploit information? Explore it is where I am gathering that information, I'm analyzing, I'm getting it, I'm making meaning of what that information that I have actually means. That's about exploring. I'm exploring the information, and I'm now better able to go and understand what that information really means. But when I talk about exploiting, what does that mean? That actually means more than simply let me go and explore the information. Let me go and see how I'm going to use that information, and what that information helped me to go and understand. How am I going to use that to help me to go and reach the outcomes that I would like to go and reach? We talk about the big data challenge, how there's a lot of data available out there coming from everywhere, transactions, customers, data, suppliers, industry, and so on, and how we have a challenge to be able to go and manage and process and analyze all of that information and try to benefit from it for the benefit of our organization. We're going to talk about discovering the strategic IS and IT opportunities from information. And we're going to talk about how we're going to go and build our capability to go and be analyzing things that are available out there as an organization. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this first question. Does every organization need to be an innovator? If yes, why? And if no, why? Tell me. What do you think? Does every organization need to be an innovator?
Depends upon the it depends upon the organization.
Depending on organization. Okay, what do you mean, Sharia?
Like, I don't know how to explain this, but like every organization cannot be an innovator. Like every organization cannot be. Like depends upon what products they're selling or what are they trying to get for the market.
Okay, so you're saying it depends on the product they are selling.
Or like what they're trying to achieve, you know?
Okay.
Like innovation is something which is not easy to achieve.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that most organizations wouldn't go for it. Like it's a difficult thing to do, you know?
No worries. Thank you very much, Sharia. I really appreciate your answer. I'm having an answer here from Alan saying yes, because without innovation, it cannot process its policy strategy to be able to achieve its goals. Okay. So let's hear from point of view from a few other people. Let me know. What do you think, guys? If one person saying we should innovate and one person say, well, it depends on the product, we don't need to often innovate. What do you think?
So there can be innovation in any kind of sectors of the business. Just like to reach out the goal that you want, we have to be innovator in any kind of business, like certain like small businesses like water business, in any of the big businesses like tech giants. They need to be an innovator to be the the leader of the.
Yep, it's a very good answer actually. I'm having Rosie saying yes, it helps economic growth. Now let me give you an example. So when you talk about innovation, a lot of you might think about innovation as, okay, well, let me ask you, what do you think innovation means?
New ideas that can generate companies' incomes.
Okay, it could generate companies' income. Can you give me a specific example that is out there, an innovation out there?
Like, I think creative, like that's innovation.
What's
if
that?
I was a post mailbox that was delivering person to person on a door to door,
yeah,
but I started an online email, that means an innovation for a company.
Okay, so that's what sort of innovation? Is that a product? Is that a process? What sort of innovation is that?
It's a service innovation.
It's a service innovation. Okay. Okay, a company who would like to go and be the cheapest in the market. Okay, tell me the name of a company that I want to go and get things, want to be the cheapest, and they want to supply that product the cheapest. Tell me about any company you could think about.
Like the car rentals.
Car rental?
Cheaper at the moment.
Okay, is a car rent? Okay, so you're saying the car rental, they want to give me the something that is cheaper. Okay, well, that's fine, but are they having any innovation? Do they innovate?
Yeah, within these last several years, there have been innovation on the car rental company as well.
What have they done?
Before, like we had to actually go to we have to actually meet person to person in order to get the car keys. But now these days, they have a self locker on the very car, so we can just go there and get a PIN code for that car keys, and we can get the car and go.
Okay, so that's a process innovation.
Yeah, that's kind of one.
Okay, if you go and actually say, I want to go and have a BMW, for example, you could even open it without even having any key.
Yeah.
You can have an application on your phone. Okay, let's talk about, I'm having here other examples that were thrown at me. I'm having people saying Officeworks, people saying JB Hi-Fi, people saying Woolworths. Okay, let's talk about Woolworths. Okay, Woolworths would like to go and offer the low product. Okay, let me ask you, do they innovate?
That's just a discount problem.
Yeah, maybe like they are like product, they are having like their own sort of, like products, like they are supplying their own products and like making the price cheaper than the other products like they import in their business.
Okay, so they're basically innovating through the provision of of their own products. Is there any other innovations they've introduced to the
So
system?
innovation, I think innovation is something which has not been done before. So I don't think like Woolworths had done anything like I think the innovation they might have done is that they changed from the like normal counters to
I think he's
like
talking about invention.
Okay,
It's not about the
okay, yeah,
product.
maybe yeah, maybe
They
yeah,
have
sorry.
innovated a new thing, like smart ordering. Too much stress.
okay. I want you to think about innovation differently. Okay, innovation, it might be, you're right, it might be, but let me go and get a new product or get something new delivered. What's that?
I'm
Sorry?
just listening to you all the time. I didn't respond to anything. Not any questions.
Sorry, Ikaraj? Okay, so I want you to think about innovation differently, guys. I want you to think about innovation in a way that is, yes, you're going to introduce something that is new. Okay, but what I want you to bear in mind is something that is new doesn't have to necessarily mean something that have never been done before. Okay, it could be something that haven't been done before, but it could be something that haven't been done before for you inside your own organization. It might have been done before out there in another business. That doesn't mean that you're not innovating because someone else did it before you. No, you're still innovating. You're still making something new that that is new to your organization to be able to make yourself operate in a more efficient manner. That's how I want you to go and think about innovation, ladies and gentlemen, because it could be, and it's not necessarily about a product. It doesn't necessarily have to be a new product or a new service. It could be simply, as an organization, I might say, you know what, I want to go and improve how I go and process, my transactions. I could go and say, well, I want to now allow people to go and buy food over the internet. I could say, I want to now allow people to be able to track where the food is at any point of time. I want to allow people to go and use RFID technology to be able to get their food processed much more quickly, or even I want to go and allow people to be able to have a self-checkout. All of these things are innovation. There are new things, there are new machines, new technologies, there are new ways for me to go and get a job to be completed. And by having that, we need to actually have the right technologies, the right information to be able to go and get the job done. So the way that I see it personally is, yes, every organization needs to be an innovator. And when I say being an innovator, it does not have to mean new products and new services or being the first product of the market or anything like that. It just means I need to go and look at where am I trying to go and compete myself? What is my offering? What am I offering my clients? And when I actually understand that, and only when I understand that, then I can ask myself this question is, what do I need to go and do in terms of getting the right innovations and the right changes that will enable me to go and really get the job done for my clients. So when we go and think about this, this approach to innovating, some people basically go and adopt things, late, and some people go and adopt things early, and some people go and adopt things with a majority. Now, there is a competitive impact of when I go and innovate. There's a know why I'm innovating at a specific time, and there's a know how I'm innovating, at a particular time. So when I talk about, when I talk about the adoption early, if I go and adopt things before everybody else out there in the market, the impact of that is I am going to be having a competitive advantage. I'm going to have something potentially as a leader that other people don't actually go and have. And why do I do it? It's because I want to go and actually shape the strategic move. I want to basically be the leader in the market, and I want to make sure that people are going to go and start looking at what I do as something that is really important, and try to see how they're going to go and try to potentially emulate me to be able to go and reach any similar outcomes in their environments. But when I talk about this know-how is how do I innovate? That know-how knowledge is not really available. It's actually emergent. Like we're trying to implement new things, but we don't know. We've never used it before. We don't know how it should be used. We're basically trying to use it to the best ability that we think we should go and use it. Those who adopt with everybody else, the majority, so we might go and be adopting all the right technology at the same time. Why do we do it? Because we want to have comparative parity. We want to be equal to the people who are competing against us. At least we want to be equal. If we're not going to be equal, we're going to basically go and lose. So why do we do it? Because we want to go and avoid being disadvantaged in comparison to everybody out there. How do we do it? Well, the likely knowledge is to be scarce. There's not much information. We all do it at the same time, but there's not much information that is really known about that sort of things we're trying to go and implement. And then there is the late adopters, if at all. What they do, the reason why they do it is because they want to survive. They want to survive. They don't, they are late after everybody else. They want to survive, so they need to be able to go and get the basic capability that will enable them to go and continue surviving. Why? Because it is a cost of doing business. If they don't do it, they'll be out of business. It's as simple as that. They won't be competitive. And how do they do it? Well, there's so much knowledge available out there about how they could be able to go and really implement that things. And the way, and something you need to know about is when someone is implementing things late, is low risk, but it's low benefit also. But if you are implementing things early and it's successful, it is high risk, but it's going to be like a strategic move. It's going to basically be leading everybody out there in the market. And that's the sort of things you need to go and try to win against, to be able to go and win against the competition out there. Now, you need to kind of think, do I employ cutting edge technology or do I employ old technology? Well, I need you to know that new and innovative technology will get you a lot of benefit, but existing technology used in a different manner within the organization will also be able to go and help you to go and generate a lot of opportunities and a lot of benefit for your business environment. So we need to think about all of these innovations, all of these ideas we're trying to go and really implement. So you think about all of these innovation, there's a stages of innovation. And I'm going to talk about a few models this week and, further in the webinar. But the stages, what are they? Well, there's an idea generation. We're kind of generating an idea. There's all of these ideas we're generating. And then what we need to do once there's an idea that has been generated, we need to make sure people are aware of that idea. So that other people say, oh yeah, we like the idea, we don't like the idea. They need to kind of form a view whether that idea is going to go and be suitable for the business or whether it is actually not going to go and be. It becomes creating that awareness. And then once we create an awareness and sort of kind of people's informal approval of that sort of idea and exploring that idea, we need to go and evaluate it. Is it a good idea? Let's go and look furthermore, explore more on it, understand it more, and decide, well, should we go and implement something specific, or is that not going to be adding the value that I would like to go and add? But if it is going to go and generate the value that I would like to go and get it to generate, then I need to go and actually implement it. Let's get it implemented and let me go and assimilate it and get other people to be able to start using it and releasing it and making sure it is really going to go and deliver the value that we need to go and deliver. And all of these, getting the value is really relates to what I spoke last week about, the balanced scorecard, measuring that we basically getting the outcome we would like to go and do. Now, those objectives I spoke about yesterday or last week in the balanced scorecard, these objectives, they relate to all of these innovations we want to go and implement. They relate to what I'm talking about today. They're linking together how I'm going to go and implement all of these innovations to get the benefit for our business. There are many, many factors that could impact on the process of business innovation with information system and IT. First of all, what is my strategic context? What's happening around me? Why am I need to go and actually work on something specific? So in other words, is there something that is really meeting my strategic needs as a business that really warrants for me to go and get the right implementation to go and happening within my organization? Whether there's a need for it or whether there's not need for it is the first thing I need to go and really ask there. Second thing I need to go and ask about is my industry influences? What is actually happening outside in the industry that is actually pushing me potentially to be able to go and start making any particular investments to be able to go and generate any particular value that I need to go and start generating within the organization? I need to talk about organizational influences. You know, people within my organization that might be influencing me whether to do something or not. For example, it could simply mean the fact that top management doesn't really support any innovation within me. And because of that, because top management doesn't support it, I am not able to go and really get the benefit that I would like to go and really generate. Could be as simple as that. Organizational culture. For example, you might be having organization that do not support having a lot of risks. And because they do not support risk, they don't really go and support making any changes and any investments within the organization. So as a result, we're not going to be making that particular implementation. So it's very, very important to really look at all of these factors that could really affect whether I'm going to be innovating or not within my organization. Now we need to get the management attention. Okay, you know, it's very difficult, you know, to get business management attention. And the reason why, can anybody think why it's very difficult to get business management's attention? Why is it difficult to get management's attention? What do you think? Why is gaining business management's attention difficult?
It might get failed, scared of that.
They might be scared. Okay, so you might be having, you know, decision makers who are scared and don't want to take risk. Thank you very much, Piyush. What else?
When you are less creative, you know, like you don't do things exceptional.
Is that why it's difficult, Indra?
Yeah, when you are doing nothing like creative things, then you won't get the business attention, the management attention.
Oh, okay. So you're saying, well, if you're not actually doing anything innovative within the business in terms of IT or anything else, well, they might not be interested into what you're doing, so they're not going to listen to you. You're not going to get their attention. That's a good idea, actually. What else do you think? Why do you think there's other reasons why we can't get business management's attention?
So because the management are operating on a certain way that they doesn't want to change just for some bloke's idea coming to there. And they don't want to change this certain way of managing the organization.
I love it. They basically operate in a certain manner and they don't want to change. They basically block brain saying we should operate this way. And because of that, we can't actually go and get their attention. Good idea. And having here, Alok is telling me, well, because, you know, due to the lack of skilled manpower, they don't have the right skills, you know, skilled people within the organization. These are all very, very good reasons, guys. And I want to add one more, which is those people typically are very busy. They have so many responsibilities, so many things they need to go and manage and ensuring things are happening within the organization. And because they are having all of those issues, it makes them people who are actually very busy. They have limited time. And because of that limited time, they basically don't feel that they do have enough time for them to be able to go and make the response to be able to go and really get the right outcome. So that's the first thing, you know, one very important thing for us to be able to go and bear in mind. Another thing is, you know, that you guys commented on is we need to gain legitimacy for my ideas. They need to see that my idea is legitimate, because if it's not a good idea, they won't be interested to be able to go and really make any investments or any thinking about that idea to be able to go and ensure we're going to start making any changes that might be relevant at any particular point of time. We need to join the dots, and joining the dots is an important concept. And it's a concept that is really related to what I spoke about last week. It's really a concept that says we need to be aware about the technologies that is out there. We need to be having a good understanding of the business and what the business really needs. When we know what technology is up there, when we know what the business really needs, we need to be alerted to all of these opportunities that might be able to go and simply fit in and get me the benefits that will go and be very beneficial for my business environment. And that's really linking to what I discussed last week about the importance of us looking very quickly in very detailed manner about what are we trying to go and do as an organization, about looking at that particular concept that what the business really needs and linking that what the business needs to our information system and to our IT investment. That alignment, that focus is really where we should be looking at as an organization to be able to deliver and implement the right things to the business that is going to go and deliver the right value. As an organization, we can produce business innovation by using information. So information is really, really important. So you can say, well, what can I do with all of this information? There's two things you can do with this information. You can explore the information, or you could exploit that information. Exploited is usually through a system. Exploited is usually through, let me take an action to be able to go and do something about it. For example, I go and I see that so many people are using social media to be able to go and buy items. So I go and analyze the data. I look what's happening out there in the market. And I see that many people are now buying items by looking directly on the internet on sites such as Amazon. Great. I went, I look at the information, and I understood what that information really go and mean. But then I get to the concept of exploiting the information. Okay, so we explore the information. We know many people are buying items by looking on online places like Amazon. Okay, now I want to ask you, if I'm going to exploit that information, if I want to go and benefit from that information, how can the organization exploit that available information? Specifically, that information that I told you, they explored that information, they figure out that more people are buying through online channels like Amazon. How can an organization exploit that information for its benefit? What can you tell me? How can an organization exploit that information for its benefit? They already know that people, they analyze the data, they know that people are basically more and more buying online through channels like Amazon. How can, as an organization, exploit that information?
So they can exploit the information from the ad targeting. There are like social medias, they will give you the access to target the ads, and if you pay certain amount of money for the Facebook and Instagram, they'll just let you know what products are buying, like from the which place, and where are the traffic getting generated from. Like this sort of information will be given by the Facebook if we pay some sorts of money to them.
Yeah, but you got that information. That's great. You now have the information.
Yeah.
How do you benefit from it?
So I make my own targeting now. If I have some business, like if I have some products on me to sell to those people, so I make a specific targeting on them, and I run the ads, so and then I get benefit from the thing.
Absolutely. So you go and do something about it. So you go and say, oh, you know what? Everyone is buying through Amazon. No problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add my products and put them on Amazon. And I want to go and create all of these, social systems to be able to go and make sure ads and connections and whatever technology I'm using to be able to go and ensure I am going to be directing people to my site to be able to buy my products. So you basically go and exploit that information. You've already figured out what that information is. You picked up that information to be able to go and ensure it is going to go and be implemented in a way that is going to be beneficial for your business through the actions that you went and you basically undertook. And that's really what you need to go and bear in mind in terms of both exploring the information and exploiting that information. That's really what we need to go and really look at any particular point of time. So the importance of basically going and exploring the data. You have data, it's going to arrive to your business, you're going to go and explore that data. And that data, you need to go and, after you explore that data, it becomes knowledge. You need to be able to go and get that knowledge, discover an insight, and try to exploit it. What can I now do to be able to go and reach any particular benefit? What sort of operational improvement can I do? How can I get a competitive advantage? So it's about really using what I've went and what I've analyzed to be able to go and get to a way where I'm getting a particular outcomes to be able to go and achieve. It's about really let's get better decision making. Let's get new values to be delivered to our clients. Let's go and get new business models into how we're going to go and really operate. Let me go and start operating online rather through my physical store. So you try to make some changes that will enable you to be able to go and reach the outcomes you would like to go and reach. We need to go and explore information to generate knowledge. So if we go and look at this other concept here, we have data and information. It's really about managing my information. But then I need to go and use that information, not simply manage it. I need to use it to generate knowledge, and I need to get that knowledge to make decisions, and I need to get and ensure those decisions are being implemented for me to be able to ensure that I am able to reach the right results for my business to be able to achieve its value that is really intended. So that information needs to be properly explored, needs to be properly exploited to enable us to really go and reach the right goals that will really go and deliver the value that the business really needs. So it's very, very important to bear that particular concept very, very much in mind when I'm trying to go and benefit from that information. The big data challenge is what we're talking about. We're talking about we need to go and get insight from all of this information. And that insight needs to be leading to decision making. We need to decide. We cannot decide without the insight. We cannot have insight without the information and knowledge that is produced from that information. And that insight is what is going to lead me as an organization to be able to go and make a decision. You need to consider it in a very simple equation. Manager with information equal decision or insight. But manager and more and better information means it's a better decision and mean it's a better insight. And that's where we need, as an organization, to be able to get all of our investments to be in the right category that will help us to go and generate better insights to be able to get better decisions to be able to go and really make. Without that real exploitation of that data, you will basically be at a disadvantage in comparison to other people that are really available out there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as products and services increase, there will be more and more products and services. The more know-how about customers is important. We need to know how do they use something. We need to know also more about the potential customers. What do they need? What do they prefer? Okay, this is really what I need to go and really know. When I know about these ones, what do they need? What do they prefer? This is really all the value that as an organization, I'm able to go and really achieve. Okay, I need to identify any strategic information system and any strategic IT opportunity. And that requires for me to have an entrepreneurial thinking. What is an entrepreneurial thinking? What does that mean? Having an entrepreneurial thinking, what does that mean?
It means creating ideas through any kind of knowledge, like getting the ideas to work. Like if life give me a coffee, then I'll make a coffee milkshake, like that one.
It's like creating a new idea. Okay, that's fine. Anyone else? Someone who's an entrepreneur. What does that mean? Someone who's an entrepreneur.
What was it, sir?
What does it mean that someone is an entrepreneur? Someone who have an entrepreneurial thinking.
Someone has really good ideas about making businesses work.
Okay. And that idea, that entrepreneurial thinking, so is that all what they need? Just say idea?
Kind of big vision, I guess.
Okay. Well, I could have a big vision. I want to go to the moon. Is that enough?
No, commitment and experience.
Is that a
Process to go to the moon.
What's that?
It's a process to go to the moon.
It's a process to get to the moon. You can't send me to the moon. Actually, maybe my wife will be happy to send me to the moon. Get rid of me, especially with the lockdown. guys, entrepreneurs is just about really getting all of these, new idea. Like think about something that nobody else have thought about, and persevere and try to make it happen. Like who could basically believe 10 years ago or 20 years ago we're going to go to the moon? Who could believe when we had the dial-up internet, which was it used to be 56 kilobyte per second. Who could believe that now we're going to have 100 megabyte per second speed? You see, it's about all of those people who go and have all of these ideas and create the perseverance and go and say, all right, let me go and find every way and find a way for me to be able to go and really find a solution to any particular idea. That's really, Alok is saying it's like getting ahead. Then it's competitors. That's correct, because when we have all of these new ideas that no one else have actually went, no one have explored it, I'm coming up with something totally brand new that nobody thought that's something that would even go and make happen, and I'm making it happen. I'm persevering, I'm finding a way, I'm finding a solution, I'm trying to make sure something is basically being implemented the way that I can actually go and get it implemented. We need to explore information. Exploring information is a journey. Let us discover what that information means. Let's be curious. Let's be open-minded to go and explore any new things. We need to manage all of that information. We need to resource it to have enough people to be able to really analyze what that information means. It basically, it's not driven to deliver against, artificial performance targets. We need to have clear targets to ensure that something is basically being delivered from any particular work we're trying to go and do. So we need to get to a stage where we are building our information, our ability as an organization to be analytic. We need to be able to go and look at data and information and manage it. We need to be able to create knowledge, which is making sense of all of that information. And we need to be able to go and have an understanding. And that understanding leads to an action and leads to the result that we would like to go and ensure we are able to go and really deliver as an organization. That's where we need to go and get to be able to go and reach the right results as a business in terms of the innovation that is needed and the information that is available that could help me to go and reach my right outcomes. My friends, do you have any questions about this introductory session before we're going to go and discuss it further in the webinar this week? Any question about the lectorial?
I think good, sir.
All good?
Yeah, all good.
Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you, Biplavi. No worries. Guys, I just want to remind you to review the webinar's content and notes taken. They are available on Moodle. You can start exploring them before the session. I want to remind you to continue working on assessment 1, which is due in week 6, which is next week, and a group assessment, which is due in week 10. It's very, very important we start working on these tasks and we show enough effort to be able to go and really reach the right outcomes. I want to remind you very much that we care so much about you and about you being able to go and achieve the best outcomes. You're not simply numbers in our class, you're individuals that we really care so much about your success. If any of you is having any problem in terms of engaging with the group members, please contact your lecturer. And then we'll try to follow up with the students to try to see what the issue is and try to rectify it. Between now and until we see you on the lectorial, please stay safe and thank you very much for all your hard work.